A car wash once handed its customers a little loyalty card. Buy the washes and the next one is free. Two groups got two different cards that secretly required the exact same number of washes to earn that free one. The first card had 8 empty boxes to fill, and the second card had 10 boxes, but arrived with 2 already stamped for you as a bonus. 8 real washes either way, same finish line, same reward. The only difference was a head start you did nothing to earn. The group with the fake head start finished their card at nearly double the rate of the group that started from 0. By the end of this, you will know why a starting line that feels closer to the finish makes you push harder, and how to hand yourself that head start on purpose. I'm Atlas. I coach discipline for a living, so let me kill the most popular productivity advice you have ever heard. Here is the loop to hold on to. Your motivation is not driven by how badly you want the goal. It is driven by how badly you want the goal. It is driven by how close the finish feels, and I am about to show you the machine that proves it. Let's slow down on that car wash, because it is one of the sneakiest experiments in all of behavior science. It comes from 2006, from 2 researchers named Joseph Nunes and Xavier Dreze. They wanted to test a simple, almost unfair question: can you make people try harder just by pretending they already started? So they printed those 2 loyalty cards for a real car wash and handed them out to real customers. One card said, buy 8 washes, and the next one is free, with 8 empty stamp boxes. The other card said, buy 10 washes to get 1 free, but it came with the first 2 boxes already stamped. Stop and notice the trick. Both cards need 8 more purchases, the reward is identical, the effort is identical. The only thing that changed was the story the card told you about where you were standing. The blank card said, you are at the very beginning. The Head Start card said you are already a fifth of the way there. Look, 2 stamps in. Then they simply waited to see who came back and actually earned the free wash. The customers who started from 0 completed the card about 19% of the time. The customers with the 2 free stamps completed it about 34% of the time. That is nearly double from a Head Start that was pure theater. And it gets sharper. The Head Start customers also finished faster, with less time between visits. Nobody gave them a discount, and nobody shortened the actual work. They just moved the starting line back so the finish line felt closer, and people chased it. The researchers called this the endowed progress effect. Progress you were handed, not progress you earned, and your brain treats it as completely real. So what is actually happening inside your head when a goal starts to feel close? This whole thing sits on top of something older and deeper called the goal gradient effect. Here is the 1-sentence version. The closer you get to a reward, the harder and faster you push for it. And the first proof did not come from people at all. It came from rats. Back in 1932, a psychologist named Clark Hull put hungry rats in a maze with food waiting at the end. He carefully measured how fast they ran at every point along the way. The rats did not run at a steady speed. They sped up as they got closer to the food. They ran their absolute fastest in the final stretch, right before the reward. The pull of the goal literally got stronger the nearer they were to it. Hull called it the goal gradient, motivation rising like a slope as the distance to the reward shrinks. Now here is the part that matters for you. Your brain runs the same slope. When a goal feels far away, the pull is weak, and weak pull feels exactly like laziness and procrastination. When the same goal feels close, the pull turns into urgency, focus, and that famous last-mile surge. Notice the sneaky word buried in there. The goal has to feel close. It does not have to actually be close. The rat responds to distance it can sense, and you respond to distance you can perceive. That is the crack in the system, and it is the exact crack. The car wash cards pried open. Change how close the finish feels, and you change how hard the person pushes without touching the work at all. Now maybe you're thinking, fine, rats and car washes, but my goals are bigger than a free rinse. The same slope runs your entire day, and there is a coffee cup that proves it. In that same year, 2006, researchers Rand Kivetz, Oleg Erminsky, and Yu Huang Zheng ran a study at a real cafe. Customers got a loyalty card, buy enough coffees, and the next one is on the house. The researchers quietly tracked exactly how much time passed between each purchase. At the start, people came in slowly, in no particular rush at all. But the closer they got to that free coffee, the faster they came back for the next cup. The final stamps got filled in a hurry, the goal gradient in a paper cup. And then those same customers did something revealing the moment they cashed in the reward. They slowed right back down, a lull the researchers named the post-reward reset. The instant the finish line was gone, the urgency drained straight out of them. Same person, same coffee, and the only thing driving the speed was how close the prize felt. Once you see this slope, you will spot it in every app on your phone because they built it in on purpose. That progress bar crawling toward 100% on your profile is not decoration. The site that tells you your profile is 80% complete is dangling 2 free stamps right in your face. The streak counter, the 3 lessons left to reach your goal, the little ring you close, all the same lever. Every one of them shrinks the perceived distance to a finish, so your goal gradient fires and you keep going. These companies pay behavioral scientists a lot of money to move your starting line for you, which raises the obvious question: if this slope is so powerful, why does it keep working against you? Because most of the goals that actually matter to you have no stamps, no bar, and no visible finish line at all. Get in shape, write the book, save the money. Those goals feel infinitely far away every single morning. The gradient is flat, the pull is weak, so you stall, and then you turn around and call yourself lazy. You were never lazy, you were just standing at the bottom of a slope too gentle to pull you. The fix is not more willpower. The fix is to reshape the slope until it drags you forward. So let's turn this thing into a tool, and it all comes down to one job: make your finish line feel close. Fix number 1, never start from zero. Always hand yourself the 2 free stamps. Before you count a project as started, do the tiny first piece. Open the document, lay out the shoes, drop in $1. That scrap of real progress moves your starting line back so the whole thing feels already underway, not untouched. Fix number 2, shrink the goal until a finish line is always in sight. A goal like run a marathon keeps the gradient flat for months so the pole never even switches on. Break it into run today, and suddenly there is a finish line a few hours away that your brain can actually feel. You are not lowering your ambition, you are chopping one impossible slope into dozens of steep little ones. Fix number 3, make the progress visible. Put the bar somewhere your own eyes can see it. A chain of marks on a calendar, a jar you drop a marble into, a checklist you physically cross off. When the progress is out of sight, your brain assumes the finish is still far and the pole stays weak. When you can see how far you have come, the remaining distance shrinks in your mind and the gradient kicks in. Fix number 4, count backward from the finish, not forward from the start. Saying I have 3 chapters left pulls harder than saying I have written 7 chapters, even though it is the identical progress. One story points your eyes at the reward, the other points them at the pile behind you. And here is the honest boundary, because you can absolutely lie to yourself a little too well with this. A fake finish line you do not believe in does nothing. The 2 stamps only work when the reward at the end is real. So attach your head starts to goals you genuinely want and let the slope carry you the rest of the way. Notice the beautiful reversal hiding inside all of this. The last mile is where you feel strongest, not weakest. Most people quit at the start, where the slope is flat and the finish is still just a rumor. So your whole job as a disciplined person is to engineer more starts that already feel like middles. Manufacture the head start, shrink the distance, show yourself the bar, and count down instead of up. You are not fighting your motivation anymore, you are tilting the floor so it rolls the right way. That is the entire game. Stop waiting to feel the pull and go build a slope steep enough to create it. You have felt this slope your whole life, even without ever having a name for it. Think of the progress bar that kept you clicking next long after you meant to stop. Think of the last stretch of a run where you suddenly found a gear you swore you did not have. Think of the checklist where crossing off the second-to-last item felt better than the reward itself. That was never magic, and it was never extra willpower. It was the goal gradient doing its quiet work. The apps figured out how to aim that slope straight at you, and it kept you scrolling for hours. So take the lever back and aim it at the life you actually want to build. A close finish line is the most honest motivation trick there is, so start handing yourself the stamps. So here is the loop, closed. Motivation is not about how badly you want the goal, it is about how close the finish feels. Those car wash customers did not suddenly get more disciplined. They got 2 free stamps, and a fake head start beat raw willpower. So stop starting from zero, shrink the distance, and let the slope do the work. Your motivation never could. Subscribe and I'll hand you one uncomfortable truth about discipline every week, the kind that actually moves you.